All right, what's up, beautiful people? So I'm gonna do. I usually post on both TikTok and YouTube, so that's why I'm doing the cameras like this. So I wanted to do a solar plexus and cleansing all the different chakras, but it's really important that you address gut issues. So before you try to do some cleansing, they call them rituals, but it's not necessarily like a ritual. It's just cleansing and imbalancing the energy in. Okay, sorry about that. That was actually my son showing me something that he had cooked. Chicken breast and broccoli. Y'all, it's super important that you understand how Satan attacks. Satan attacks us in so many ways, not just spiritually, but physically as well. So I hear this sermon on food, okay? And how the temptations of the Bible, that Satan used food as the first temptation. And I look at the things that I eat, I look at the things that my children eat, and it's really hard to convince people to get holistic counseling or to take up a better, healthier lifestyle, because we live in a really endowed world of convenience. And I thought it was very interesting in this sermon that I heard that Satan's temptations on man were first on Eve was food. The very first temptation was using food. Then Jesus, after he had fasted for 40 days, Satan used that hunger, and he said, if you'll turn, these stones into bread. So food is very much a part of our culture. Sadly, instead of it being a culture of fellowship where we sit around together, we break bread together, usually meals are not prepared, from scratch anymore. A lot of people fall into the easiness of reaching for fast food. And when our gut is torn up, okay, so let me just give you an example of the gut. So fasting not only cleanses the body of toxins, but it also helps to reset your gut. And it's super important. Even Jesus talked about fasting for spiritual reasons, like, if you are dealing with spiritual attacks. One man in the Bible was possessed, and he said, one of the apostles said, something about how to get the demons out, and he said that doesn't happen unless you fast and pray. So spiritual attacks come in every shape, form, or fashion, but one way in which we are spiritually attacked is with, the lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh, the pride of life. So we know Satan reached out and tempted Eve with food. We know Satan reached out, tempted Christ with food. Also, the Apostle Paul said in 1 Corinthians 10:13 that we will be tempted easily with the things that are normal to man, such as food. And so there are these things that tear up our body that we don't realize, that just stay clogged in our systems. The hydrogenated oils I've talked about before are equivalent to candle wax. It takes like 117 degrees to burn that. The man-made salts in the stores that are not God-made sea salts, that raise your blood pressure. But when you have a gut-brain axis, and when your gut is out of alignment, it doesn't really matter how much healing or chakra practices you do. Sometimes it boils down to your lifestyle, what you're eating. And although I do believe in those healing practices, because they are a form of ancient medicine, and I do believe in herbal remedies, sometimes it's as simple as not falling into the temptation of an unhealthy lifestyle in the foods we eat. So your gut-brain axis, you have actually 100 billion brain I have cars going all around me that are distracting me. I'm sorry. You have over 100 billion neurotransmitters, or nervous system receptors going to your brain. 500 million of those are connected to your gut. 95% of your serotonin is produced or is in the gut. So when you are eating unhealthy and you're tearing your gut up, you're going to feel like crap. Your mood is not going to be elevated. You're not going to have that serotonin available that would boost your mood, that helps with memory, that helps with emotional stability, that helps with behavior. All of those things are directly related to gut health. There's things out there like Lyme disease. There's SIBO, which is small intestinal bacteria overgrowth. There's Candida yeast. There's inflammatory bowel disease. There's leaky gut syndrome. So I've talked about these things before, but I want to hit home on some things that you can do and some things that you can avoid before reaching out to, other healing practices. One of the things you can do is start taking the herb white oak bark. That has extreme medicinal properties. It has tannins in there. It helps to tighten the lining of the gut. Another thing you can do, of course, I'm sure you've heard about probiotics, prebiotics, enzymes, and colostrum, as well as things like chicken broth. Fermented foods, anything with polyphenols in there, and that's your brightly colored things. Like, I used to grow purple okra, and I would talk about the anthocyanins in there. Your brightly colored berries, olive oil, olives, dark chocolate. The olive oil itself is a really good coating for the lining of the stomach. Lots of things with fiber in there, such as your green leafies like spinach and kale, but you can't take those if you're dealing with something like SIBO or Candida or anti-inflammatory bowel disease. Those things, that's why you need to consult a holistic practitioner. And doctors are catching up. So if you are dealing with a gut disease, a chronic illness of the gut, you do need to consult a physician, and you do need to take their advice. Nothing I say here is meant to supersede that. But protein, eggs, almonds, walnuts, fish, turkey, salmon, sardines, tuna, lots of fish. Very high protein diet. I've talked about the yogurt that I buy. It's a very high protein yogurt. I usually mix it with something like a ranch dip so that it's got some flavor to it. Chicken salads, throw in that goat cheese, throw in that feta cheese, throw in the nuts and berries, using low calorie or dressings made with stevia. You should avoid things like mushrooms and peanuts if you're dealing with any of those gut diseases, because they tend to bring mold and fungus to the gut. Also avoiding your pork and shellfish. Those things are told to us in scripture not to eat, not because it's unlawful anymore, but because if you're dealing with gut issues, they have those enzymes in there that are toxic to your system, so they'll kind of send you into a shock. So if you're trying to heal the gut, you would want to avoid that. I'm not saying avoid it all the time. I avoid it a lot, but I do still eat pork and shellfish sometimes, but I keep it to a minimum. But it's because of the enzymes in there that sends a shock through your system. It's not got to be a legalistic practice, but if you're trying to heal your gut, yes. Another thing that I wanted to talk about was a lemon ginger water, and I'm going to do a 3-day fast, and I'm going to go over the lemon ginger tea that is really kind of making the waves out there now, but I'm going to add some essential oils to mine. Grapefruit, lemon, orange essential oils are extremely beneficial to killing bacteria candida in the gut. So I'm going to do the lemon honey ginger tea for the next 3 days. I'm going to be doing a fast. I have things that I particularly want to deal with in health and spiritual issues. So I'm going to do my own fast. And if you feel like that might be something you want to watch, I'll start out tomorrow by making the tea. But the lemon ginger honey tea that I will add grapefruit and lemon essential oil to, I'll start that tomorrow. So I hope you'll continue to watch. If you're interested in holistic counseling, look me up, missysnaturals.com. If you're interested in any of the essential oils that are pure food grade, you can look at my website, Missy's Naturals. I've got Super Salve, I've got Happy Face, Euphoria. I've got a couple of things that I kind of want to move through, so they're on sale already. Plus, use the code HEALING30. You'll get a discount. If you have any questions about gut health, I hope you would reach out to me through the website or my email address. I'll put that in the description box below as well. But taking care of our gut is essential to not only our overall physical health, but even our brain health, because they are connected. And I hope this made sense to you, and I hope you'll continue to watch. Y'all have a blessed day.